It's safe to say the Resident Evil franchise has seen an odd evolution. 20 years ago, it started off as a survival horror franchise before evolving into an action series. But with the 7th entry, they're trying something new. So, is it worth it? Let's find out. Resident Evil VII Biohazard is one of the strangest franchise gambles in recent memory. Oh sure, there's still plenty of tense, horror-driven moments, spaced-out save locations, and creepy monsters lurking in poorly lit rooms. But the identifiable characters and ongoing narrative of the series' past is nearly absent, decisively whittling away the decades-old canon to the core essentials of a survival adventure game. But it's through this departure that Biohazard rekindles the spirit of prior entries, creating the best Resident Evil game in years. Players take control of Ethan as he searches for his girlfriend Mia. 3 years after her mysterious disappearance, Ethan receives a letter revealing her location in the isolated woods of Louisiana. Discovering a seemingly deserted home, he reluctantly enters before being kidnapped by the insane residents within. Clueless to his surroundings, Ethan must press through bloodthirsty creatures and deranged family members to rescue Mia. If that sounds a bit bare bones, it's intentional. Biohazard doesn't feature so much a story as it does a foreboding atmosphere. Ethan, despite his proficiency with firearms, is an average man trapped inside a grotesque nightmare, attempting to rescue his former life, and that sense of loss permeates throughout the dilapidated hallways and unkept rooms of the estate. Is it scary? Not really. The cartoonish sludge monsters and evil bugs don't exactly terrify, but the disturbing scenarios and wince-inducing gore are more than enough to keep players on edge. Resident Evil 7's most obvious difference from its predecessors is its first-person perspective, but this is far from a simple modernization. Placing players directly into Ethan's view emphasizes vulnerability, with every new environment and sudden sound upping anxiety. While there are a handful of effective jump scares, it's the constant paranoia that makes the 10-hour campaign so successful. As an adventure game, most of your time will be spent collecting objects to unlock doors and pathways while avoiding mortal dangers. But Biohazard's pacing dresses up this repetitive cycle in a few clever ways. Several VHS tapes scattered throughout the spooky grounds give players a peek into prior events. These playable sections are free of long-term consequence, well, at least for Ethan, but leave important clues for future locations. And while puzzles are always present, their solutions are straightforward, with blunt clues giving direct objectives. Though the unique mechanics, such as creating shadows with a wooden block to project an object, are a welcome addition. But most problem solving comes from the end of a barrel. Handguns, flamethrowers, and machine guns are frequently used against the savage fiends. Though never altogether scarce, ammunition is a valuable resource, requiring careful shots. Combat itself is fairly easy due to enemies' simple AI, with most only taking a handful of less powerful bullets to down. Even when faced against a particularly difficult opponent, the ability to craft additional grounds, upgrade health, and guard against opponents' attacks make short work of any adversary. This might appear to be pointless padding, but their true purpose is to prepare players for their grandiose battles against the inhuman family members. These scenarios are divided into 2 parts, where Ethan must stealthily navigate past his pursuers, building his arsenal along the way, before battling a demented foe. Like the standard monsters, these battles don't offer much in the way of challenge, instead focusing on pattern recognition. But witnessing the disturbing transformations of seemingly normal people is mesmerizing. This is thanks to Biohazard's fantastic detail-rich environments and striking lighting engine. Watching a slumping collection of goo creep forward is all the more unnerving when surrounded by recognizable real-world elements. PlayStation VR users will get an especially good look at the realistic facial animations and character models. The entirety of the campaign is playable in VR and works remarkably well. The snappy 30-degree turning mechanic might look disorienting here, but feels mostly natural in the headset. Anyone looking for a lengthy virtual reality experience will certainly want to give Biohazard a try. That is, if they can handle the stress. So, is it worth it? Yes. Resident Evil 7's narrow vision of terror succeeds despite its odd execution. It's a survival horror game that isn't actually all that frightening or difficult. Instead, it uses all the tropes of the series to establish and maintain a potent mood of tragedy and regret. And its standalone narrative invites both old fans and new to enter the dark. Turn off the lights, turn up the sound, and have a bad time. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is currently available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC for $60. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought, and if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin and I'll see you in the next video.